Not enough white men in America to drive GDP for the next 20 to 30 years. Not enough successful white men. And it's not a racial comment. It's not a political comment. It's just good common sense. It's demographics. Demographics are destiny. It wasn't a attaboy to white people, and it wasn't a diss to black people and brown people. It was a statement of a material mathematical fact that demographics are destiny. And for the first time in history, there's just not enough successful white men to drive gross domestic product for the next 20 or 30 years. If we don't include everybody in this economy, we're going to be, within 20 years, a nation who used to lead the world. We will not be the sole superpower. We'll be speaking Mandarin or Russian or some other language because they want to be us. And we won't be able to grow the economy without including all of God's children. Women, minorities, they're going to be a majority of this country within 10 years. And my rich friends need my poor friends to do better, if only to stay rich. Like literally, for the first time, we're all in this thing together because 70% of GDP, gross domestic product, is consumer spending. And there's all this discussion about, merit. Yeah, look, nobody's going to succeed long-term unless you're smart. All right, you can get a break, but if you're dumb, you can't do the job, you're out, right? Capitalism's a gladiator sport. You don't survive unless you're good. But also, relationship capital is a real thing. If you hang around 9 broke people, you're going to be the 10th. I see all the time the benefits of having the right class involvement, class structure, social environment. How many times somebody get a job because they caddied for somebody, or their father, knew the right person. They made a phone call for them, or you went to the right school. You went to Harvard or Yale or whatever, and you became buddies with somebody who became the CEO, and you became the CFO because you're an average student, but you knew the guy. And that's not racism. It is discrimination. You discriminate against somebody else to hire somebody that you like. By the way, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's an is. That's the way the world works in many ways. It should never be racism based. But people make choices and they discriminate as they're making discriminating choices, right? And what I'm saying is that those choices have to increasingly have a lens that opens up that says, there's probably a Steve Jobs in the hood. You know that NASCAR came from moonshine running, by the way, in the Appalachian Mountains? By the way, that's literally true. It was poor, struggling whites who were running from the police. They realized that was not going to work. So they realized they were great race car drivers. And so they focused on what they could do well. They were ostracized from society. They were dismissed as important. And now those same families are worth hundreds of millions of dollars 4 or 5 generations later, and are, highly respected in society now. That's NASCAR. Well, don't you think that there's brilliant talent in every inner city and low wealth neighborhood or so-called poor group or left behind group? This country is all about going from the bottom to the top. That's my book, my 5th book, Up From Nothing. And I believe with the right tools and the right laddering effect, we can grow GDP 3, 5, 10% more than what it is right now annually. And that is the goal, is we're better together. And that's what I believe. That's what this piece says. And I dare anybody to give me math that competes with this. I have no idea, if we don't embrace this, how this country continues to lead. We can have a debate all we want. There's just not enough white men to go around. God bless. Peace.